If you've ever drizzled a dash of Tabasco sauce over your eggs, spiced up a bowl of gumbo, or given your pizza that perfect fiery kick, you've experienced a piece of American culinary history in a bottle. This tiny, spicy powerhouse has traveled far from its humble beginnings on a small island in Louisiana to become a household name in more than 195 countries. But here's the fascinating part. When Tabasco was first created over 150 years ago, the concept of hot sauce was practically unheard of. It would still be more than a century before buffalo wings made their debut. And yet this fiery red liquid was already quietly revolutionizing how people thought about flavor. So how did a simple recipe from an isolated salt dome become a global icon, a sauce beloved by royalty, astronauts, and millions of spice lovers across the world? Today, hot sauce shelves are bursting with variety, from smoky chipotle blends to bright green jalapeno mixes, from ghost pepper scorchers to sweet and spicy concoctions. But back in 1868, Edmund McIlhenny's original Tabasco sauce was something new, something bold, and something that made people sit up and take notice. It didn't just introduce Americans to heat, it shaped the very market for spicy condiments. Over the decades, it's graced White House tables, sailed on Navy ships, found its way into countless military rations, and even floated through space with astronauts. Queen Elizabeth II herself was known to enjoy it, proving that this Louisiana-born sauce could cross not just oceans, but cultural boundaries as well. The soul of Tabasco is forever tied to its birthplace, Avery Island, Louisiana. This 2,200-acre stretch of land isn't technically an island in the ocean. It's a massive salt dome rising from the surrounding swamps and marshes. Beneath the lush greenery lies one of the largest salt deposits in the United States, a natural treasure that has been essential to Tabasco's production since the very beginning. Avery Island is more than just a factory location. It's a place steeped in history, from Native American salt mining to Civil War turmoil. It was here, seeking refuge from the chaos of war, that McIlhenny began tinkering with peppers, vinegar, and salt in hopes of transforming the bland, repetitive food of the era into something exciting. The origin story of Tabasco has an almost accidental charm. McIlhenny, experimenting with preserving peppers in vinegar, left his creation to sit for years. The long rest transformed the mixture, unlocking deep, complex flavors he couldn't have achieved in a quick batch. That mistake became the foundation for the aging process still used today. While modern equipment has made production more efficient, the core method remains remarkably close to McIlhenny's 19th-century technique. The peppers are still ground into a mash, mixed with Avery Island salt, and left to mature in oak barrels for up to 3 years. The barrels themselves are sealed with a thick layer of salt, acting as a natural lid that keeps contaminants out while allowing the mash to ferment and develop its signature punch. What makes Tabasco stand out isn't just the heat, it's the complexity behind that heat. The salt from Avery Island plays an unsung hero role here, not only preserving the mash, but also subtly influencing its flavor. Over time, the combination of high-quality peppers, tangy vinegar, and pure salt from deep within the earth creates a sauce that is both sharp and smooth, fiery, yet balanced. It's why Tabasco works equally well dashed into a Bloody Mary, stirred into a pot of chili, or sprinkled on fresh oysters straight from the Gulf. Despite selling over 160 million bottles a year, Tabasco has never strayed from its roots as a PSO's family-run business. The McIlhenny Company has remained in the hands of Edmund's descendants for over a century and a half. Every single CEO has been a family member, each one acting as both caretaker of the recipe and guardian of the brand's legacy. This commitment to tradition is more than just sentimental. It's a promise that the sauce in your hand is made with the same attention to detail as the very first batch in 1868, Producing that many bottles every year requires an incredible amount of peppers, specifically the Capsicum frutescens variety. Known for their bright red color and steady, lingering heat, these aren't just any peppers, they are the result of decades of careful seed selection and cultivation. The McIlhenny Company grows peppers on Avery Island, but also partners with farms in Central and South America and parts of Africa to ensure a steady supply year-round. Still, the standards remain strict. Every pepper must match the deep red hue of a small wooden stick called Le Petit Bâton Rouge before it's picked. If it's too light or too dark, it stays on the vine. This kind of meticulous handpicking is rare in modern agriculture, but it's one of the reasons Tabasco has kept its flavor consistent for generations. After harvesting, the seeds from the best peppers are saved and shipped to partner farms across the globe to be grown into future crops. The peppers themselves are quickly processed, ground into a mash with just a pinch of Avery Island salt, then sealed in white oak barrels to begin their long aging process. This mash is so potent that even a small batch can flavor thousands of bottles. When it's finally ready, the mash is blended with high-quality distilled vinegar and stirred for nearly a month, allowing the flavors to marry into that unmistakable Tabasco taste. It's then strained, bottled, and shipped off to spice lovers around the globe. Tabasco's journey from Avery Island to dinner tables worldwide is a story of patience, passion, and persistence. In an age where many food brands have been bought out, reformulated, or mass-produced beyond recognition, Tabasco remains refreshingly authentic. It's a piece of living history, a recipe born during the Civil War that has survived world wars, economic depressions, and massive shifts in global cuisine without losing its identity. Whether it's in the hands of a chef in New Orleans, a street food vendor in Bangkok, or an astronaut in zero gravity, Tabasco carries with it a little taste of Louisiana and a whole lot of heat. And perhaps that's the real secret. It's not just about the peppers, the salt, or the vinegar. It's about the story in every drop. It's the history of a family that refused to compromise, of a place where nature's resources and human creativity came together, and of a sauce that dared to be different when the world wasn't ready for it. Today, with a single shake, you can connect to a tradition more than a century and a half old. A tradition that continues to ignite taste buds and inspire adventurous eaters everywhere. Tabasco isn't just hot sauce, it's a legacy in a bottle, ready to set your next meal on fire in the best way possible. If you've ever drizzled a few drops of Tabasco sauce onto your eggs, splashed it over a steaming bowl of gumbo, or given your pizza that extra fiery kick, you've tasted more than just heat. You've tasted over 150 years of tradition, craftsmanship, and patience poured into every single bottle. This isn't just hot sauce. It's a carefully guarded family recipe, aged like fine whiskey and born from a process so meticulous. It transforms a handful of peppers into one of the most iconic flavors in American food history. The journey from a ripe pepper to that tangy, spicy splash on your plate takes years, literally, and it all begins on a little patch of land with a big reputation, Avery Island, Louisiana. The magic starts when freshly harvested red Tabasco peppers, fiery, vibrant, and bursting with natural oils, are carefully ground into a thick, fragrant paste. This grinding isn't rushed or careless. It's done with precision to lock in the pepper's natural heat and flavor, creating a deep, earthy aroma that instantly wakes up your senses. That paste is then blended with a measured amount of Avery Island salt, a locally sourced treasure mine from one of the largest salt domes in the U.S. This salt doesn't just season, it preserves, protects, and plays an essential role in the slow fermentation that follows. Without it, there would be no Tabasco as we know it. From there, the pepper and salt mixture is packed into oak barrels, and not just any barrels. These are often repurposed whiskey barrels, chosen not only for their sturdy structure, but for the way the oak breathes and interacts with the mash inside. The wooden staves allow just the right amount of air to seep in, encouraging the growth of natural yeast that will work its magic during fermentation. Over time, these barrels impart subtle, rich undertones to the mash, adding a complexity that no modern shortcut can replicate. It's a process rooted in patience and old-world craftsmanship. And it hasn't changed much in more than a century. Once filled, the barrels are sealed with a layer of Avery Island salt across the top, a method used for generations. This salt forms a protective crust, acting as both a shield against contamination and a breathable lid that lets the mash slowly age without spoiling. It's like nature's own security system, keeping unwanted bacteria out while allowing flavor to deepen and intensify. For the next 3 years, yes, years, those barrels rest in climate-controlled warehouses, where temperature and humidity are monitored as carefully as a fine wine cellar. This is where the transformation happens. Inside each barrel, the mash slowly changes. The bright, raw heat of fresh peppers mellows, blending with earthy notes from the oak and developing a tangy richness that dances between savory and fiery. Too much air and the batch would be ruined. Too little and it wouldn't achieve the depth Tabasco fans crave. The McIlhenny family has perfected this delicate balance, ensuring every drop maintains the same bold personality that first won hearts and tongues more than 150 years ago. By the end of this long wait, the mash is no longer just crushed peppers. It's a living, breathing flavor masterpiece. When the aging is complete, the pepper mash is carefully transferred from oak barrels into massive stainless steel tanks. Here comes another key ingredient: distilled white vinegar, stored in towering 5,000-liter tanks. The vinegar is slowly and methodically mixed into the mash over the course of 28 days. This isn't a quick stir. The vinegar is introduced gradually so it can fully absorb the mash's aged flavors without overpowering them. The result is a perfect marriage of Thames and heat with vinegar brightening the pepper's natural spice while enhancing its aroma and color. The vinegar also plays an important role in food safety. Its acidity naturally preserves the sauce, eliminating the need for artificial additives or heat processing that could dull the flavor. That's right, Tabasco sauce isn't cooked. This cold blending method means the final product delivers the pure, unaltered taste of aged peppers, just as nature intended. As the vinegar and mash mingle, the mixture's color deepens to that signature ruby red hue you instantly recognize on grocery store shelves. Before this fiery liquid can be bottled, it goes through a thorough filtration process. Here, every last bit of pepper skin, seed, or pulp is removed to create a silky smooth texture. This step isn't just about appearance. Though the resulting sauce gleams with a clear, inviting brightness, it's also about consistency. Each bottle must pour and coat food in exactly the same way, whether it's destined for a Louisiana crawfish boil or a New York City pizzeria. When the sauce is ready, it's bottled exclusively in glass, a deliberate choice. Glass doesn't react with the acidity of the sauce, ensuring that flavor stays pure from the day it's sealed until the day it's opened in your kitchen. It also blocks oxygen far better than plastic, preventing any unwanted changes in taste or color. Each bottle, topped with its iconic red and white label, it's a promise, the same bold flavor you've come to expect. Preserved in its freshest form, from seed to shelf, this process reflects more than just culinary skill. It's a legacy. The McIlhenny family has been crafting Tabasco sauce on Avery Island since 1868, passing down the original recipe and time-tested methods through generations. This isn't just a condiment. It's a story of patience, tradition, and pride. In a world where fast food and instant gratification dominate, Tabasco stands out as a product that refuses to be rushed. Think about that the next time you shake a few drops onto You're chili or stir it into a Bloody Mary. You're tasting peppers that were aged for 3 full years. Nurtured in oak and blended with vinegar for nearly a month before being filtered and bottled. Every drop is a little piece of history, a burst of Louisiana culture, and a testament to the idea that some things are worth waiting for. And it's not just about heat, it's about balance. Too much spice and the flavor would be harsh. It's too little and it wouldn't have that signature kick. The genius of Tabasco lies in its ability to walk that fine line, making it versatile enough to enhance everything from seafood and barbecue to eggs and popcorn. It's a global flavor ambassador with bottles shipped to over 180 countries, yet it remains rooted in the same small island where it all began. So, whether you're the type who adds just a dash or the brave soul who shakes it on generously, know that what's in your hand is more than sauce. It's the result of a century and a half of passion and precision. Tabasco has been spicing up meals since before your grandparents were born, and it's not slowing down anytime soon. The next time you see that little glass bottle, remember the oak barrels, the salt crust, the years of waiting, and the generations of dedication that went into every single drop. It's not just hot sauce, that's history in a bottle.